Race 20 of 36 will bring us to New Hampshire Motor Speedway today for the running of the Lenox Industrial Tools 301. Thursday night at Kentucky, Denny Hamlin picked up his fifth win of the year on 3 green light checkered attempts. Earlier in qualifying, Greg Biffle locked up a pole for this race. Brad Keselowski to his outside. Both of these two are looking for their first win of the year. Martin Truex Jr. is starting 6th, looking for his first win of the year. Tony Stewart starting 9th. Playoffs and points leader Denny Hamlin will start 12th. Jeff Gordon still looking for his first win of the year. The longest he's gone in a season until he got his first win was 24 races back in 2002, where he had 2 back-to-back victories at Bristol and Darlington. There you see the rest of the starting lineup on your screen. And that is it. As your starting lineup for today, as Greg Biffle and Brad Keselowski are going to come down, and they will bring the field to the green flag for 60 laps at Loudon. Lap 1, and Casey Kane is taking the lead. And he's got Dale Jr. on the inside of Biffle for second. While things seem to settle down throughout the field, out the rest of the group, Dylan Burroyd tries to charge in. He gets a few spots. Trying to get by Stewart, the fall 2011 winner of this race at Loudon. He'll get by pretty easily, along with Carl Edwards and the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Or almost, as Johnson's holding pretty tight down the backstretch. But Dylan's going to get by him and the 17 of Kenseth. Nope. Dylan slides in line just fine. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is taking the lead, by the way. As Dylan Murray started 18th, and within a handful of laps is about to take the lead from Jr. So it is Dale Jr., Casey Kane, and Dylan Murray as your top 3. Dylan Murray charging in on the inside of Jr., or trying to at least. Other than some minor scuffs so far on the 25, this race has been clean and green for the most part. Keyword for the most part, as Dale Jr. has a little bit of back damage. Dylan, can he get the lead from Jr.? Jr. has the better line on the top side. And Dylan's still using him up to get by the lead. Gets the lead, and he will do just that. Put the 25 right where he belongs, right out front. 7 laps complete. Casey Kane and Greg Biffle fight for third. For the back, Brad Keselowski has shuffled himself to fifth. So the top 5 as it stands is Murray, Earnhardt Jr., Casey Kane, Greg Biffle, and Brad Keselowski, your top 5. So 25, 88, 5, 16, and 2. And depending on how far these tanks can go on an average stop, typically we see fuel start to become an issue probably about 14, 15 laps into a run of a 60-lap race. I think we'll probably see 3, maybe 4 pit stops the max, but depending on cautions, that can all change pretty rapidly. Dylan Murray has just led that lap. He's led 3 laps so far in this race. And his lead continues to grow over the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr., who just got into turn 2. Dylan Murray just entered turn 3. As Dylan Murray continues to march on. More cars a lap down. Dylan Murray trying to charge it in. Turn 1. And he get it. Gets the 13 of mirrors. He will put him a lap down. Followed by quite a few more cars. Alrighty, as the field continues to go on, the first 12 laps, we are working lap 13. Dylan Murray, who started 18th, he has gotten out to a pretty solid lead as he's already gotten himself free of lap traffic. Dylan Murray continues to pull away. Danica Patrick is the next car in front of him that will go a lap down. If Dylan can get to him before green flag stops begin. He's got about 6.5 laps of fuel, so this might just be a 3-stop race by the looks of it. Yeah, it'll probably be a 3-stop race. Dylan Murray slides in front of Danica Patrick and keeps the spot. Hey. Dylan Murray continues to grow his lead. He is now 17 seconds ahead of Junior, who is currently fighting with lap traffic as we speak. And it looks like David Strem is going to be the new free pass car by the time they get to 1. Regan Smith as he pounds his way through there. So Trevor Bain and Juan Pablo Montoya are obviously holding on for. We're hoping to God there isn't a caution, as we got green flag pit stops underway. And now Brad Keselowski is the new second place man. The 2014 and 2020 winner of the summer race at Loudon, the June race in particular. So Norway continues to lap some cars. By some, I mean several. And it looks like everybody blends in cleanly. A little bit of contact with Cornish and Montoya. And so begins our round of green flag stops. Dylan Norway comes out of pit lane in fifth. Ryan Newman is the leader in this green flag cycle. And the first one is complete. Never mind, Juan Montoya is your leader. Or he's exiting pit road as we speak. It probably looks like David Stremming may have to pit as well, so Dylan Norway will get the lead right here. Most likely. There's a massive amount of cars Juan Montoya is in the middle of. Dylan Norway takes the lead. David Stremming is also on pit road. And by the looks of it, Juan Montoya could end up in the same position he was earlier. And cars blending in. Oh, a lot of contact, but I mean, a couple of them. But somehow no cautions yet. Yeah, let's keep it that way. Dylan Norway continuing to show his might on the field, on the track, as he just put Benny Hamlin and Mark Martin a lap down. An extra lap at least. Now one car that's getting ready to pit. And put more drivers a lap down. So as of right now, we're down to about 7 cars on the lead lap. Carl Edwards being the last of them. Oh, wow. Good thing. A lot of sketchy moments with cars blending into traffic. Quapple almost took out the 99 of Carl Edwards. Keyword almost. And now Dylan Norway has put an entire field one lap behind. As everyone blends in okay. And I got 4 cars up ahead that are probably obviously a lap down because of the blistering pace Dylan Murway is set in this race. And emphasis on blistering. Because there's 3 cars up ahead. Eric Amarola leading Austin Dillon with Scott Speed about to get lapped again. Not a couple yards behind. As we have ran the opening 27 laps of this race caution-free. I guess the goal right now is hopefully it stays that way. And now after this, there's a lot of clean air up ahead. Ever since Dylan Murway took the lead on lap 7, he has absolutely dominated this race, putting an entire field 1 lap down, including the 18 of Kyle Busch, who sits in second as we speak. If a caution were to come out, Kyle Busch would be eligible for the lucky dog since he's in the free pass position. And everybody else could be eligible for the wave round to get right back on their lead lap. Not a lot to talk about when half of this race has been run under full green flag conditions, and when the record time just barely has reached 18 minutes. As Dylan Murway continues to pad his distance by a lap over Kyle Busch. Dylan Murway has reached the midway point of this race at the line. And there's not a lot to talk about when you've ran in basically an entire first half of the race clean and green. Could have a shot of the rest of this race. Could have a pretty decent shot of the rest of this race going that way as well. So Dylan Murway continues to dominate here at Loudon by a full lap over Kyle Busch, who sits in second. And he's about to put this next wave of cars another lap down. As they begin looks like they're about to begin the next round of green flag stops. Denny Hamlin on pit road, along with what looks like Matt Kenseth, Greg Biffle, and Tony Stewart as well. They have gotten on pit road, so we should see the next wave of green flag stops beginning probably right about now. We had one caution-free race at Richmond that's played out very similar to how this race has played out so far, with not a lot of cautions and Dylan Murway leading the field by laps at a time. In fact, Dylan Murway won the VFW 400 earlier this year by almost 3 laps over Paul Menard in second. More cars on pit road with Paul Menard and Dale Jr. and Kevin Harvick on pit road. Murray continuing to put several cars a lap down, including Jeff Gordon, the 88, on the apron. He blends in. He's got room up ahead. So if the car's there, he can just slide right in, and it won't be that much of a deal. Martin Truex is on pit road, by the way, in second, 1 lap down. Probably going to be 2 laps down now. In the next couple laps. Jeff Burton is now lap down in second place as Truex is on pit road. Jeff Burton comes down pit road, and Dylan Murray puts 2 laps on the entire field now at this point. It's going to take a lot. It's going to have to take a lot for everybody to unlap themselves from the pace that Dylan Murray has set. I mean, it's going to take quite a bit. So far, it has been quite the race. 2 full laps on the field, and then some. As we have just reached 21 laps to go here at New Hampshire in the Lenox Industrial Tools 301. David Stromy has unlapped himself once, and he sits in second. As under green flag conditions, Dylan Murray has not been passed. During pit cycles, yeah, he has. Granted, the lead that Dylan Murray has built isn't as impressive as when he was at Richmond and won by a couple laps. Everybody seems to blend in okay. And now Dylan Murray is going to go back and lap the rest of the field again. Okay, 20 to go. 20 laps left today in the Lenox Industrial Tools 301. Dylan Murray has lapped the entire field. Some cars he's lapped more than once as he gets by the 31 of Jeff Burton. Puts him a lap down, and the 83 Landon Castle, obviously driving the Summer Smoothies Toyota. Greg Biffle is leaving pit road. He is cycled into second, 1 lap down. Casey Mears is getting onto the racetrack now. As Dylan Murray continues to lap the field, he has just broken the 30 flat mark for lap times today. That should obviously show you how much he's dominated and is trying to go for his first win since Richmond earlier this year, which played out fairly similarly to how this race has played out as well. We have not had any cautions for any reason today. It's really come down to the guys in the pits and the guys that can drive. And so far, it has been a combination of both, I'd argue. Dylan Murray puts Biffle, Keselowski, Kyle Busch, and Tony Stewart one lap down, or another lap down. So now Dylan Murray has a 2 full lap lead over the rest of the field. "16 laps to go. When we get to the line, there will be 15 to go." And with the lead Dylan Murray has put on, he probably kept the laps that he's clicked off. I'm honestly not surprised it hasn't turned into 3 to go, how fast he's gone. As Dylan Murray continues to gap the field by at least a couple laps. Just like the old Winston Cup days. Oh boy. Dylan Murray is opening up a 2-lap lead with 14 to go. Greg Biffle sits in second, followed by Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, and Tony Stewart. Your top 5. Dylan Murray continues to put cars a lap down. Just a reminder, the next race will be at Pocono on Saturday at noon. And I initially said 1:15 in the last time change. I moved that race up 75 minutes to noon Eastern on Saturday. Since I know at the time I'm taping this, it's currently November right now. And I'm sure 90% of you are just getting done with your Halloween parties and are getting ready to move on to Thanksgiving and Christmas plans. Dylan Murray continues to put a massive clinic on the field as what looks to be the last round of green flag stops is taking place. Got about 5 cars on pit road. Two laps down with 11 to go right now. Joey Logano comes to pit road. Trevor Bayne probably trying to make a pass on Kurt Busch. And Dylan continues to lap the field. 10 laps to go here at Loudon. Couple more cars on pit road. 9 laps to go here at New Hampshire. And with the rate Dylan Murray is going, it's probably going to be 11 laps to go for the rest of the field. And by the time he's done with his post-race media interviews when he gets out of this place, these guys will still be racing, and it'll be sunset. That's an idea of how much Dylan Murray has dominated today here at Loudon. Dylan Murray continuing to lap Jeff Burton. For those of you folks who played NASCAR Fantasy, Burton would have been a pretty nice sleeper pick for today at Loudon. He would have. For those of you out there, Dylan Murray continues to put a massive lead on Martin Truex. Truex is 2 laps back right now, and obviously a lot of these guys are hoping for a couple cautions at least. So he can make Truex go 3 laps down. Jimmy Johnson 3 laps down as well with 6 laps of racing to go. In a race that has been caution-free up to this point, Dylan Murray started 18th today, took the lead on lap number 7, and has not looked back once in this race. He's definitely trying a 2-stop strategy. In fact, he could probably pit and still have enough of a lead over the rest of the field. Puts a lap on Matt Kenseth, Bobby Labonte. Got a bunch of cars up ahead. All of them are basically going to be lapped by Dylan Murray up to this point, as he enjoys a 3-lap victory, which as of right now would be considered the largest margin of victory in New Hampshire history since 1994. Dylan Murray continuing to lap several drivers. Again, Saturday at noon will be the Pennsylvania 400 as time continues to tick just a bit closer to the chase. Drivers that really should probably think about a win. Greg Biffle, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart all come to mind. Tony Stewart right now could get in on points if the chase were to start next week. But for guys like Biffle, Gordon, Stenhouse, Logano, that could be interesting come playoff time, when the playoffs are getting close to the Watkins Glen doubleheader and Bristol and then Atlanta Motor Speedway during the day. 2 laps left here at New Hampshire. Dylan Murray is all but packed his bags up and is making the way to Pennsylvania right now with how fast he's gone. And we're going to make it to the white flag here at Loudon. Leading by 3 full laps today. Doing a 2-stop strategy. And is 2 corners away from the second caution-free race of the year here at Loudon. Half a lap of fuel. He's pretty much on fumes at this point. As Dylan Murray will come across the line and win today at New Hampshire in the Lenox Industrial Tools 301 for the 3rd victory of the season. Three full laps. Everybody else was 4 laps down. Bobby Labonte with a good run. Scott Speed with a good run. 6th. Labonte 9th. Truex 12th or 11th. And wow, some of these names. Jeff Gordon ends up 16th. Kevin Harvick, Dale Jr., Marcus Ambrose ran out the top 20. A lot of cars 4 laps down. I mean a lot of them. Joey Logano 29th. Robbie Gordon on back, 5 laps down. And Joe Nemechek ends up in last, 6 laps down. In a word, this has been a fairly quick race. Second caution-free event of the year, so make sure you tune in Saturday at noon for the Pennsylvania 400.